about time.
All right, guys, so here are the top 5 duds of the summer of 2026. Now, this is really tough because there are some really good titles in here, and the expectations for some of these movies was really high, and I thought that they were going to actually do really good. So I'm going to go ahead and kick this off with number 5, and that's going to be Star Wars, Mandalorian, and Grogu. Honestly, I like this movie. It was actually pretty good. The problem was that it felt like more of a long two-parter of the Mandalorian series, and you can probably look at the way, the tone that was set in the beginning with the credits and everything coming out like that. It really just felt like an episode, and that kind of like turned me off a little bit. But once the movie started, and it basically, everything that you loved about the Mandalorian series was in the movie. And I thought that it did not rely on nostalgia really at all. Now, you did have a little bit of cameos here and there, but you got introduced to a lot of new characters. And Jeremy Allen White's character, as far as the Hutt that's in this movie, I loved it. I thought it was great. He kind of gave you a Thor Ragnarok type of, against Hulk a little bit in certain scenes with the Mandalorian and him. So I liked it. I thought it was really good. Now, there are some pacing issues towards the middle, but once once that part is done, it kicks back up, and like I said, it's really, really enjoyable. The budget was $165 million. It grossed $345. That's actually the lowest of the Star Wars live action movies, and but this is nothing to do with the movie itself. It has everything to do with pretty much the focal point of those particular characters, because the movie was really good. I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. But yeah, that's number 5. At number 4, I'm going to give it to Disclosure Day. It felt like The Arrival, but slower. And I really enjoyed Emily Blunt, though. Her performance was really good. But it was just missing something. I don't know exactly what it was. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, I thought that, and E.T., obviously, I think that, Spielberg, there was a lot of heart in those movies. I think that that's probably what was missing here. It felt more like like a blander version of The Arrival, but that's just me. That one was budgeted at $115 million. It grossed $239, so not too bad of a return. I don't know exactly what the marketing cost was on that, but it was not that bad. It did make decent money, just not what you'd expect from a Spielberg film. So yeah, that's number 4. At number 3 is Moana. If you're gonna do a live action Moana, then just make it Moana 3 as live action. That would probably have been a hell of a lot better, because remaking a movie that's 10 years old when it's still technically fresh, especially coming off of a animated Moana 2 years ago, it's just pointless to make. It's a cash grab. It was poor. I saw it, and the CGI is questionable. I love The Rock. He's one of my idols, but something was just not right. He did not capture Maui in the same way he does vocally through animation. It's just not exactly the same. I think another actor playing the role would have been better, since it is a separate universe as far as live action versus animation. So I think that was a mistake on that. The budget was $250 on that. Plus marketing, you're probably looking at about an additional 200, if that, maybe 500 million total for budget, and it only grossed 260 so far. That's really, really low. So it's just bad timing. Certain elements of the movie from the animation were not captured and translated well into live action. So not that big of a fan, but that's Moana number 3. At number 2, I'm going to give it to Masters of the Universe. I will say this about Masters of the Universe. 1, this is not on Leto at all. You got Tron Ares, okay. You have Morbius, okay. He was fantastic as freaking Skeletor. I freaking love Leto as Skeletor. Yeah, okay, fine. The voice was not matching the cartoon. All right, I get that. But overall, he was magnificent as freaking Skeletor. He was not the problem. The problem was that they forced the humor in it, and it could not capture an identity of what it really was. Adam turning into He-Man, but still acting like Adam, was not a good choice. He-Man is completely different personality than what Adam was. Now, granted, I understand that he just became He-Man, but you don't stop a fight to give you an HR speech. You just don't do that. The humor was too much. It was too corny at times. It was forced. And that is the only thing I did not like about that. Otherwise, the fight choreography was great. Some of the performance was great. Idris is awesome in whatever he does. So this ain't on Idris either. I'm so sorry. I forgot the guy that played He-Man, but Adam. He was fine. There was nothing wrong with him. It was just the humor was just too damn forced. And it killed pacing a lot of the times. I did not like that part of it. But hey, hopefully they get it together. I'm pretty sure that they're not going to make a part 2. And if they do, they really need to kind of scale back on the humor. When you look back at the Master of the Universe cartoon, there's not even that much humor in there. It's good and there's some funny parts, sure, but it's not as, forced in the cartoon. So there was no reason to force some of this stuff. They just have to control the pacing better and find a balance between the humor, the action, and just straight up plot and story. But yeah, that movie was budgeted at 170, gross 114. That's pretty bad. But hey, it found some success on I don't want to say home video, but on streaming. Much like the Dolph Lundgren version found new life in video cassette. That might be a thing. I don't know. But Master of the Universe number 2. Number 1 is Supergirl. That movie cost $200 million, maybe even more with marketing to make. And it grossed $126 million so far worldwide. That's horrible. Now, I don't know what it is. Is it the controversy behind Millie Alcock's rant or whatever she was doing publicly? I don't know. Is it the character of Supergirl herself? A lot of people have been saying that. It's just a character. Supergirl is more of a secondary character that does not really need a solo film or anything like that. But I will die on this hill. If Sasha Calle was Supergirl, I have a feeling it would have done a hell of a lot better, especially if Snyder was involved. James Gunn is making this DCU. He's trying to make every movie Guardians. I had a conversation with my brother on this. He said it also. Like, it's just trying too hard to make it Guardians and not looking at the characters for who they are themselves. I mean, Superman wasn't even that good. It was missing so much in that movie. And this one, same thing. She was barely Supergirl in the movie. Like, that's even worse. Like, she's barely Supergirl in the movie. Now, if you want to make her like Hancock, at least Hancock knew who he was as a character. This girl does not, and it killed it. It just killed it. Not even Jason Momoa, who was not a bad Lobo. He was actually a really good Lobo, and honestly, a bright spot in the whole freaking movie. I thought he was perfectly cast as Lobo. Just not enough Lobo to save this movie. All these different plots. The villain was not as good. I got the Mad Max comparisons. I saw that, how people were comparing it to Mad Max. No. Mad Max is substance. Mad Max knew exactly what type of movie it was. Whether you're talking about Mel Gibson's or Tom Hardy, you always knew what Mad Max was. And this one, you don't. And if you're going to watch a movie like this, just watch Hancock. It's a heck of a lot better. But that's my number 1. It was pretty bad. It was very cringe. And honestly, I couldn't wait for the movie to be over. That's how bad it was. So that rounds out my top 5 duds. I don't have any dishonorable mentions at all. There's a few from home video, but I'm not going to get into that. So, hey, let me know in the comments below and let me know what your studs and your duds of the summer of 2026 was, and we'll see you down the road.